I've shared previously a story about a colleague accusing me of contradicting him on a client call. The other two people in the room were as confused as I was, but we were all angrily instructed to leave this person's office. I walked the other two people to the door, closed the door behind them, and told this person, "I'm a grown woman and you don't get to talk to me that way." He apologized, citing stress. Now, when I recounted this story to someone on a podcast, the host asked me if I was afraid when I spoke up. I didn't have to think about my response, though no one had ever asked me this question before. I said I was incensed, furious, first that he would accuse me of something I didn't do, and secondly that he spoke to me in such a disrespectful tone and in front of coworkers. Sometimes we need to just have righteous indignation or righteous anger, which is anger that's primarily caused by a perception of injustice or other moral issue. This feeling can drive an in-the-moment response that has far more impact than waiting or saying nothing. It also goes a long way in helping people understand your boundaries and those of others.
Hey, my loves, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Let's talk about something real today: boundaries. I know, even the word can feel heavy sometimes, right? But as a woman, we often feel ourselves overextending, saying yes when we really mean no, or carrying emotional loads that aren't ours to bear. So if you ever felt like you're running on empty or struggling to hold space for yourself, this one is for you. So today I'm going to share some practical, heartfelt tips from other women and other creators, and they will explain how to set boundary and confidence as a woman, because you know what? We deserve it. Okay? So without wasting any more time, I'll see you back later.
Boundaries do not work by you expecting somebody to read your mind. The whole boundaries conversation. Let me go ahead and debunk something really quickly because I keep saying this all over social medias. You know how unhealthy and delusional it is to say, well, that's my boundary, but you haven't communicated it. So people are supposed to just read your mind. You know, there's one thing that comes with actually establishing a boundary, and that's learning how to be assertive. And a lot of you all are very passive aggressive in the way that you all do things. You do things and then you hide your hand, or else you do things very indirectly. And you just assume that people are going to go with the flow, and that's just simply not how it works. How will somebody know how to respond to your limits or what your limits are if you don't articulate them? I just cut this person off because it's my boundary. I blocked this person because it's my boundary. I stopped talking to this person because it's my boundary. Did you say that? How do you expect somebody to honor what they're not aware of? That's all right. Take your time, baby. And it's really vague to say, well, they should just know. Interesting. Because if that's the case, you should know better, right? Admit it. You're either passive aggressive, a conflict avoidant, afraid of conflict, or simply just a coward. Well, I hope that helps. I wish you all the best. Happy healing and happy healthy relationships. Bye, babies.
So what are boundaries? Because in order to create them, you need to know what they are. Boundaries teach people how to treat you. You don't like the way you're being treated, set a boundary to change that behavior. Don't let them play in your face. They're treating you like that because you don't have any boundaries, but don't worry, I'm here to help. The reality of the situation is life is short and we ain't got time to be out here dealing with people that ain't treating us the way we want to be treated. I'm Kiki, I'm a licensed therapist, and I help people create and implement boundaries all the time, so who better to listen to than me? Think of boundaries as like little invisible fences that help protect your personal space, your energy, your time, and your sanity. I even teach people what to do when they violate your boundaries. We ride at dawn. Boundaries make your relationships better because it helps you communicate your needs to people who care about you. And if they care about you, they will respect your boundaries and implement them immediately. And if you find that when you start to share your boundaries with people around you and they don't do that, then those people probably need to go. The real tea, though, is that boundaries are not just for everybody else, they're for you too. And I didn't start really living the most fulfilling life until I started implementing boundaries with myself. Personal boundaries are where you need to start. When you understand and respect your own boundaries within yourself, then it's going to be easier for you to vocalize and have other people respect boundaries for you too. Let me know if you guys need some examples of specific boundaries. I love sharing this content with you guys because, as you know, my books are full, my rates are high, and I can't see everyone.
Friend, take small steps to start setting boundaries. If you are a person that has never really set boundaries before and always go along to get along, take small steps to creating boundaries, like taking some time off of social media and not posting every single day in order to start creating some time for yourself, or trying to say no to at least one thing a day. And here's why. When you start trying to create boundaries, it can start feeling overwhelming when you're not naturally a person that says no. So take it small and take it slow. And as you grow, you'll start getting more comfortable with setting boundaries.
If you ever wanted to know who was truly there for you and not just what you could do for them, set boundaries. The moment you set boundaries, you weed out the counterfeits. People who are just around to get whatever you're willing to give for nothing in return are going to leave the moment you set boundaries. They don't like hearing no. They don't like hearing that you have boundaries and you have a price list because they weren't trying to pay anyway. They're going to leave. The people who stay are your people. So if you ever wanted to know who was really for me, who are these people really my people? Are they here just because of what I can do for them? Or are they here because they really love me? Set boundaries, know your limits, and communicate assertively. And I promise you, you are going to get rid of the people who are not really there for you. Trust me, it is scientifically proven, and I'm the scientist. Okay? They're going to leave. Set boundaries and also stand firm in them. Because think about it. Does Gucci lower their prices because some people can't afford it? No. If you can't afford the price, then there's other options with lower prices. That's not to say that anybody is less than. We all have different needs, different boundaries. But for what they're able to afford, what they're willing to give, what they have the capacity for, there's other options. Don't lower your prices or adjust anything because they can afford it. If I can't afford to go in Saks Fifth, they're not going to put the whole store on sale for me to be able to go and shop. No, go to Macy's. Simple.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but I recently heard this and it completely changed the way that I approach life and boundary setting. But the only people in this lifetime that are interested in you not having any boundaries or not having any self-respect are the people who want the luxury of walking all over you. And let me explain what this means to me. When you set your boundaries, you have to keep your boundaries. I don't care who he is. I don't care who that friend is. You have to get to a point in your life where you don't accept anything that is below your boundaries, like full stop. You don't want to be the person that people just walk all over. And I am still learning this every single day. But the truth is, like, when someone crosses your boundaries, it takes a hit at your self-confidence. It takes a hit at your self-esteem. And I just feel like we're working every single day to build up our confidence, to build up our self-esteem. And when we lower our boundaries for someone and they walk all over you, you start to question your worth, you start to question your value, and you're just like, why did this person treat me like this? And this person treated you like this because you're not disciplined in your boundaries. You know that you don't deserve this, and for some reason you put yourself in a position to accept it. It blows my mind, and I've done it so many times, and it's such a shitty feeling. If you think about it, the women that get exactly what they want in this life get those things because they're disciplined in their boundaries and they only accept things that they want. Get to a point where you're not accepting things that you do not want in this life. And the second that you stop accepting things that are beneath you, you open yourself up and you make space for the things that you deserve. And sweetie, I learned that the fucking hard way. But at the end of the day, respect your boundaries, keep your boundaries, and be disciplined in your boundaries. And I swear to God, your life will change. We're not giving people ammo to take us out with. Sorry, it's just not happening. Stop accepting the things that you do not want, and you will start getting the things that you deserve. It's that simple.
When you're more than just a pretty face and you have substance, you have beauty, and you have wisdom, a lot of men are going to back off of you. Some men really hate that you have boundaries and that they can manipulate you or prey on you the way they thought they could. So ladies, stand on your boundaries, stand on your standards. Whatever you're looking for is out there.
I've discovered that my sensitivity and my empathy it's a strength. So if anybody else out there is very sensitive, and if you're an empath, you're awesome and you're the shit and you have like a cheat code in life. But it does come with a cost if you aren't aware of your energy and if you're not operating from a high level of self-esteem. When I was operating from a low vibration and I felt like I needed to fix everybody, please everybody, keep the peace, just do whatever everybody said so that there would be no drama. It was probably the lowest point of my life ever. And I wasn't conscious of it. I thought things were fine But the truth is, when you operate as a people pleaser and you're running around doing what everyone says that you need to do, there aren't too many people that respect you, including yourself.
I'm gonna stop saying I don't know who need to hear this, because I know a lot of you do. So you need to hear this. There is absolutely nothing hard about setting boundaries. It's standing on boundaries that'll make you feel like your chest is caving in. Setting boundaries just means that you're self-aware. You know what you will and won't tolerate in relationships with your family, your friends, your coworkers, your intimate partners. After setting the boundary, then you have to tell everyone your boundaries. You can't be mad that people are crossing boundaries they didn't even know existed. Now the hard part comes in when the people that know your boundaries still choose to cross them. Now you have to stand on what you said you were gonna do when that boundary got crossed. I told my best friend that if she ever did this, I can no longer be in her life anymore. Well, she just did it, so now what are you going to do? It's not the job of everyone around you to make sure you stand on your boundaries. Your boundaries were put up because you know how you like to be treated. The people around you are worried about not crossing that boundary, but once they do, what happens next is up to you. And that's the part that'll give you heart palpitations.
All right, so let me leave you with this. Setting boundaries is not about shutting people out. No, it's about letting the right people in while protecting your peace. Okay? It's not selfish, it's only self love. And if you're just starting out, I just want you to remind you to give yourself some grace because, it's a process. Okay? So you don't have to get it perfect the right time right away. Okay? So the most important things is that you're honoring yourself. So I would love to hear from everybody who is listening to this. What boundaries are you working on right now? So let me know in the comments down below. Let's support each other on this journey. And as always, if you find this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, share this video with your friend or someone that you think they really need it, right? And I just wanted to leave with this message that you're worthy, you're enough, and you got this. See you next time.